Now, members of the economic freedom fighters eSwatini have accused police of firing shots at them as they tried to join their South African EFF counterparts yesterday. This was during a march near the Ushuk-Ngwenya border post between the two countries. Earlier this week, the City Press reported that eSwatini government had told the Southern African development community that guns were being smuggled from South Africa by the EFF. However, both the South African and eSwatini EFF representatives have denied the allegations. To speak to us about this and the party's call for diplomatic intervention, we're joined now by the EFF's head of international relations desk, Godrich Gardee. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. A lot of movement and a lot of action, especially what we saw transpire at the border post. And there was some unhappiness in the manner in which police in eSwatini prohibited the eSwatini EFF members from really ensuring that this protest takes place as planned. What is your reaction towards that?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, my sister, and to our viewers. Our comment on the issues that the developments that are happening in eSwatini are very consistent. We have called for an overhaul, democratic dispensation to be implemented in the kingdom of eSwatini. And we have condemned the genocidal conduct of the eSwatini government towards a pro-democracy activist. We call for the release of all arrested protesters. We call for the reparations to those injured and those who have been, and to the bereaved families. We think it's high time that there should be a democratic dispensation in the kingdom of eSwatini.
And let's talk a little bit about your plan, your initial plan of action before we saw what transpired yesterday taking place.
Well, there are almost about 6 official borders with Swaziland, that is Mananga, Jeppes Reef, Lavumisa, and Matamo, etc. So all these 6 borders, there will come a time wherein, as EFF South Africa, we will unleash no less than 10,000 members in each of these borders and close it for not less than a month and squeeze the oxygen out of that nonsensical family government of King Mswati.
Another claim that has been made here by the government in eSwatini, accusing the EFF in South Africa of smuggling guns into eSwatini. What is your response to that?
Well, they've considered that actually it's an allegations. It's a delusional grandeur by the desperate, nonsensical family government of Mswati and its puppet ministers. We have not yet reached that point of providing resources to the people of eSwatini. It doesn't mean that that will never happen, but at least for now it is not, and we cannot rule out that possibility in the near future if actually the king continues to subject his people to such poverty and misery that he is currently doing.
So you're saying that you can't rule it out in the near future, now confirming that there is a possibility that you will make sure that you do enforce some guns and ammunition into the country to help the EFF eSwatini?
Our founding manifesto in South Africa speaks of all necessary means. All necessary means does not actually exclude any other means, which also include whatever you may ever think of to bring about the change that is needed and economic freedom for our people in South Africa and in Africa and eSwatini in particular.
So the accusation then, Mr. Gardee, is not without merit?
Is without merit because we can confirm to you that at least for now we have not yet reached that point, but that point cannot be actually excluded in the near future if the king continues to spend the money on his 18 wives, on his 100 million rand watches, on his 200 million rand Rolls Royce, and on his family friends, and on his daughters and his sons and wives. Actually, in fact, it is very annoying and should be disgusting actually what is happening in Eswatini. That low-lying border fence actually should come down and be one United States of Southern Africa. And you start here today when you speak of a United Africa.
With this threat, if I might call it that, what sort of time frame would you be giving it, especially now considering the nature of developments in Eswatini? The people of Eswatini are desperate for democracy and some sort of diplomatic intervention to essentially change their lives.
Actually, it is not a threat, my dear. It is a commitment for a great march to Mbabane. Very, very soon, a great march to Mbabane from all the 5 entry points of official entry points of South Africa and Eswatini. So you can imagine a great trek from all the borders to Mbabane and to all the palaces of the king, and to help the people of Eswatini achieve what we have achieved in South Africa, a democratic dispensation. And as to the time frame, we cannot really say this should be the time frame. We can't actually make our opponent to be aware of what.
Okay, we seem to have lost Godrich Gardee, EFF Head of International Relations Desk, bringing us up to speed with the latest developments that transpired at the border post, the Ushuk border post, as the EFF Eswatini took to that border post. Of course, the Eswatini EFF claiming that police fired at EFF marchers at the border post with South Africa. And of course, I don't know if Mr. Gardee is still with us. Can you still hear me? So you were. We will, of course, have to leave it there for now. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for your time as we, of course, gave you a broader picture of what the EFF is thinking and what the EFF is planning when it comes to ensuring some democracy for the people of Eswatini.